Welcome to another episode of the Single Player Report podcast. I'm your host, Jarvey Rocks, and today we're going to be talking about a bunch of different gaming news that happens. Some I do believe is a little bit old, and some new, very new, freshly new. I think a couple things is technically old, very old. Not that old, but much older than the news that we're going to be talking about now. So, yeah, I just wanted to kind of do another podcast episode about all the different gaming news. And I do believe this is all the stuff that I would like to talk about. And, all the stuff that is happening. So, let's get into it. Let's talk about the amazing gaming news. So the first thing we're going to be talking about is this article from Entertainment Weekly about out of the Xbox, out of the box, and they went the Xbox. At 25, the gaming giant seeks to level up with new ways of play and Hollywood adaptations. Now, of course, this article talks about stuff that Xbox has been in development of and stuff they announced. Like, here is a post, I'm guessing all the stuff that Activision they own, like they got Call of Duty, Halo, that game, because I think a company Activision owns does mobile games. I'm not really sure. And this article just talks about a lot of stuff they are gearing up, announcements and stuff that they already did, or stuff that they're just planning in the future. And they're having a whole bunch of adaptations. Like, this talks about Fallout Season 3 and other adaptations that they plan to do. We get more information about Gears of War E-Day and Fallout Shelter. Interesting. But that is not the stuff I really want to talk about. This says Halo Combat Evolved, and this is Minecraft Dungeons 2, Modern Warfare 4. That's awesome. This is what I want to talk about right here. This is our first new look at OD. OD Knock is what it's called. And there's the actress, the main star of the game. I don't remember her name. I know she's in Dungeons and Dragons Honor Among Thieves, which is a great fucking movie. I love that movie. That was an absolute amazing movie, and I wish it got a sequel. I wish they planned a sequel. They've canceled any sequel plans because the movie was sadly a box office failure, which absolutely sucks because that movie was fucking incredible. It truly captured what people. It felt like a D&D campaign. That was fantastic. It felt like someone adapted a D&D campaign, and that movie was so good. And I wish it got a sequel. But the actress who is in that movie, Sophia Lillis. It says just Dungeons and Dragons Honor Among Thieves, which was a great movie. She's also in which I think the movies that truly kind of made her famous was she was already a famous. She was in other movies and stuff, but the movie I know her from, every time I do think of her, every time I do see her, is Stephen King's It remake. It Chapter 1 and 2. She was also in Chapter 2. And so that we do see her in this photo. And there's other actors in this movie and stuff. Now, this photo looks pretty fucking amazing. It's very much giving off PT, because that is what this game is very heavily inspired by. Look at this image. This is an actual image from the game, and it's very much PT. We see this creepy I think it's a lady standing there, just kind of just being creepy as fuck. And we got like this window up here for the sunlight. Crazy. But very much this OD knock. Even the trailer, like let's actually look at the trailer. The trailer very much references PT. Kinda. Even though it doesn't straight out say PT in the trailer. It is very much referenced. We're going to look at it right now. So this is the trailer OD Knock. And Hideo Kojima, from the very start of this first trailer, and even in the very start of the first ever announcement, when he first announced this, he comes out of a door. Actually, you know what? I really should have been much more prepared, but you know, that's just what it is. I never really or prepared for this, because I eventually start thinking of other stuff, and I'm like, oh my gosh, like I think about other stuff halfway through when I'm doing this, and so that's what is terrible. But I need to find one that actually shows him on stage. Here we go. The full presentation. Here it is. Because this actually is very interesting. So we're going to look at this presentation when this was first ever announced. And just to show you that it's very much trying to be PT. It's not, that video says it's not PT. Yes, you're right. It's not PT. It's very much not PT. But it's trying to be PT. And very much, this is the trailer. This is the original trailer of the actors. What does Hideo Kojima get on the stage with? Is that the PT door? That is the PT door. It's 100% the PT fucking door. My gosh, he was really telling you this game is not PT, but it's going to be taking heavy inspirations from PT. This is basically what I'm hoping for is that it's just going to be inspirations from PT and stuff. And just to prove it, that it's the PT door, there's a playthrough of PT. We're going to look at this, and look at this. Look at this. The character's waking up. They get up. Why is this? Here we go. And look at the light. This is the door. It's very black, like the brightness of his arm. But look at this. Look at the light. Look at this light. Just look at this light. This door. Look at the door itself. Of course, you can barely see it. But the light's the best thing about this is the light. And what does Hideo Kojima come out of? The PT door. This is literally just the PT door. Like, this is literally the PT door. And the trailer literally begins with this. The trailer begins of the OD Knock teaser trailer. It begins with this text. It begins with the door and someone opened the door with a card or something. I'm not really sure, but it begins with 10 years since the blank horror blank blank. The cursed blank have once again blank into the forbidden. Now it says 10 years since the phenomenon horror game or experience PT. This is PT. Like, if you really look at the text and stuff, like, I do think someone maybe in the comments like basically tested like what it says and stuff. Basically decipher the hidden text. Um, where is it? No, it's not in this comment, so that sucks. But it you can see that it's very much saying, it's not saying PT because they probably legally can't reference PT and stuff, but you can see that the short letters, this is obviously short letters for PT. In 10 years, and since this trailer was released, it was 10 years since then. It was 10 years since the game released. September 23rd, 2025. 10 years since the game PT released to the public. And PT is regarded to be one of the best like horror experiences. And all it was a demo. Not even a demo for the, it wasn't even really a demo. It was a trick. It gave hints to the story of, I'm guessing, the story of Silent Hills, but Hideo Kojima has made it clear many times that the game was not, this game was not going to be what Silent Hills was going to be like. This was just a trick to make you think this was by a independent indie studio and not actually from a big AAA developer. That was always his intentions. And so it's actually a great experience, and I wish we could still play it. Come on, Konami. Come on. Let me play the damn game. Why is this so... Turn up your blindness, motherfucker. But yeah, the knock, like, very much, and even the trailer itself was very PT. Like, look at this. Like you start off with a character walking, and it's first person. They walk in a room, and it's just a weird, creepy room, and then stuff starts to slowly change and morph and be creepy as hell. And the photo we see, this photo, very much is giving off PT vibes. Like, it is pretty clear. The Hideo Kojima wants you to know this is PT. This is a very PT inspired game. And I'm truly excited for this. I'm excited for this. Of course, let's read what it says. Represents three main characters in Kojima's OD, a new kind of horror game made in collaboration with Jordan Peele, the Oscar-winning filmmaker behind Get Out. A scan was crafted of prior to the actor's death in November 2025, but the team couldn't make an actual shot happen in time. Kojima Productions declines to share more information of Choir's involvement, though filming has now properly began with the actors on OD. So it says like the filming has not even began, and that kind of gets me worried. That worries me a lot bit because this game was announced. When was this announced? 2023. This was announced in 2023. It was President's OD, and it shows like them acting and stuff, but this clearly is just the scans. Like, this is just scans and stuff. They're in that little scanning area. So I guess they haven't actually filmed anything of the game. Of course, when this trailer released, the Knock trailer, in the description, they don't reference Jordan Peele at all. Like, Jordan Peele is not referenced at all in this. Not in the trailer, not in the description, and it's just seen as a Hideo Kojima game. So what? I don't really know what Jordan Peele has to do with this, unless he's no longer involved with it. But it still says a game made in collaboration with Jordan Peele. So is Jordan Peele? What I've heard, which I don't know if this is true, but what I've heard is it's going to be a video game from Hideo Kojima, and it's also going to be either a movie or Jordan Peele's directing a separate game. So like this is going to be like an anthology series, an anthology game with each short being from a different game director, maybe. Or what I've heard is Knock is the first game in OD, and it's the game, and then Jordan Peele's project is a movie adaptation. Maybe that's what they're talking about. The filming has begun, but as far as I know, the article just says they started filming like properly began filming with the actors. So I don't know when the game. They probably been working on the game itself, like actual levels and stuff, but they probably didn't have any like cutscenes or because it does say they scanned the actors beforehand, like they actually scanned them beforehand, so they probably were able to um just scan the actors so they could use them for the game, but they haven't actually started filming the cutscenes and stuff until now. Hopefully that hopefully we can see this game at least in the next year or so, but most likely like let's hope that they really started development on the game itself, and then the cutscene portions is what they got to do next, and then finish up here and there. So hopefully like maybe late 2027, early 2028. That's what I'm hoping for, but I'm not really sure. It's difficult even for now for Kojima to talk about what the game is without giving it away. But the title speaks to the concept, which is to get the player to overdose on fear. Oh my gosh. You gotta overdose on fear. I mean, Hideo Kojima has always talked about when he was developing Silent Hills. He was like, "This game is gonna make you shit your pants. You're gonna be so scared, you're gonna shit your pants, and we're gonna pack the game with extra pants." That was the pre-order bonus. That's the joke that he did, and when you were talking about Silent Hills. And I do truly believe that OD is going to be what Silent Hills was planning to be. I truly believe that. I truly believe this game is going to be in some form what Hideo Kojima wanted Silent Hills to be. It might not be Silent Hills, it might not be PT, but it's very much going to take those ideas that he had for Silent Hills and put it into the game. And I'm very excited. Now, here we go. I want to talk about one thing he did say. So I'm going to read this whole passage. I wanted to try something new. I wanted to do something different. He says, I had this OD concept since I was working on Death Stranding 1. And I was working on it just by myself. I can't reveal much detail, but it's something that no one has ever seen before, a new game system. Now, he has talked about how their next game, after Death Stranding released, or while it was in the middle of its promotion and stuff before the game officially released, he said him and his his other developers, his producers and stuff, said that their next game most likely is a horror game, and he probably really did want it to be a horror game, his next game to be a horror game and stuff, but because of this, it sounds like no one would have took it. So details on the concept remain top secret, but it's clearly ambitious and potentially revolutionary. I have to wait and see. I pitched to too many people, to the big companies and also to the up and up companies. All of them said the same thing, Kojima recalls. They said that I'm crazy and that they really don't understand the concept, that they will not be able to do it. So basically what he's saying is, apparently he went to a lot of companies. He pitched it to Sony. He pitched it probably to like smaller up and up companies like Annapurna. He pitched it to a lot of companies, and they were all like, we can't do this. This sounds like a way out there concept, which is very strange that up and up companies like Annapurna or something said no to this. Like, even that sounds strange. How crazy of an idea is if indie studios, indie publishers are saying no. How crazy of a concept is this game if even they're saying no? What is this game? What is this? Holy shit. It was Phil Spencer, the former Xbox CEO and the friend of the creator, who understood what he was trying to achieve. So does Sharma, who calls it a deeply moving game. I got great artists and creatives that can pick up a great game better than I can, so I want to give it space, but most importantly, I think it just represents another kind of game. Hideo Hideo Kojima teases, I wanted to go beyond the limit of the scariness that other games have reached. It's a single player game, and I want to make it scary as possible. But for those that might not stop playing when it gets too scary, I thought of a system that allowed them to keep going. I can't say much because it would give too much of a hint on the system. I could get in trouble for saying too much. A game like OD tells Schamer that Xbox has not reached the boundary of games. She says, and therefore we need to make sure our platform is significantly open to more creators and developers can come on board and be successful, because the next Kojima is yet to be known. I will say Kojima is very much a genius. I do think he does a lot of shit that I do not agree with. I think very much he has burned bridges with a lot of people. I do know for a fact, but I do think he has made a lot of great games and has been a lot of a creative, and I've always wanted to see what a full-blown horror game from Hideo Kojima could be like. And Silent Hills, I was always a Silent Hill fan before I was truly a Hideo Kojima fan, and I knew how much of a genius he was before then. But playing PT, I was like, this is going to be something great. And it got canceled, and I was very deeply upset by that, mostly because it was a Silent Hill game canceled. But I truly thought it was probably going to be something great. And so I'm hoping Hideo Kojima can prove me right. I want this game to be absolutely incredible, and I'm hoping for just the best. I'm hoping he just completely makes something amazing. And what I do find it this interesting system he mentions that will allow people to keep going. And is it just like accessibility systems for people who are really scared of horror games? Soma, I know for a fact Soma does a system just like that. Soma is a game made by Frictional Games. It's one of my favorite a horror game. And because of just a very beautiful story it tells. But in that game, there was an option that was technically an easy mode. Like, it still kept the creepy atmosphere and the story, but the enemies wouldn't chase you. They would just walk around. They couldn't hurt you and they couldn't chase you. They just walked around like, oh, how are you doing? Oh, I see you over there. And make a creepy little noise, and then walk away. Okay, I'm walking away now. I can't really harm you, so I'm not going to really do anything. So I thought the mode was very silly, but I wonder if it's a mode similar to that, where the enemies just can't hurt you. I think it's strange that he can't talk about it now, I guess because of contracts and it's too soon. Maybe he doesn't want another developer to quickly put it in their game yet. Like, I'm not going to say anything until it's released. I'm not really sure, but whatever this is, whatever game this is, I'm excited, and I want to know what Jordan Peele is doing, because so far the trailer, the first teaser trailer does not reference him in any way in anything in this game. It just has a Hideo Kojima game, not a Hideo Kojima and Jordan Peele game. So it makes me wonder, is he actually developing the game? Or is he doing a different project that's connected to OD? Like I'm very curious. Maybe Hideo Kojima is directing the game parts. When they said they couldn't film, maybe when they're saying they couldn't film, they don't mean inside, they're probably gonna do, maybe what they're gonna do is it's not gonna be in-game cutscenes, in-engine cutscenes. It's going to be live-action cutscenes similar to what Remedy does with their games. Like, Remedy, they record, like, for example, Alan Wake 2. Alan Wake 2 had real actors on real sets and stuff. And they filmed them, and, of course, it would cut to, like, an in-game engine cutscene. But oh my gosh, excuse me. It would cut into, it would have like segments of in-game cutscene, but also have segments of filmed on location in real like sets, live action cutscenes. So I'm wondering if maybe that's what they're doing with this game. Jordan Peele is going to direct live action cutscenes, or is it? I mean, Hideo Kojima is very much a film guy, so if they're going to do live action cutscenes, wouldn't you think he would want to direct that? But maybe he also wants like a filmmaker to actually be there because he's never actually directed a film. Who knows? I mean, he's directed cutscenes, like he's directed motion capture cutscenes and stuff, but he's never fully directed an on-set cutscene. So I just want to know what Jordan Peele's doing. But I'm very excited. I do remember when this was first ever teased and stuff that this was going to be a cloud gaming experience, but so far they have not once referenced cloud gaming. So I'm wondering if he just completely abandoned that idea. Because he very much in the beginning, when this was per project first got ever announced in interviews and stuff, he very much talked about how he wanted to do something that's based around the cloud service. Xbox is doing a cloud service, so that's why he went with the Xbox and stuff. But now it seems like he pitches to a lot of people, and only Xbox said yes to it. So I'm just curious. I'm just curious what this game is. God damn, I had to sneeze again. Oh my gosh. Apologize. Some people say, oh, you edit that out, right? No. I don't really do that much editing on these. Mostly because my computer sucks and I don't want to do that much editing. So, yeah. Oh, the greatest thing about this podcast, before we move on to the next story, which you already see what it is on the screen, on YouTube, this podcast is now labeled as a podcast and for the playlist, which I think is awesome. Like, I got a notification on YouTube. Well, I didn't get a notification. I was scrolling through my YouTube Studio app, and it said that one of your podcasts is now officially labeled as a podcast. And since it had podcast in the name, I'm guessing YouTube did a little thing where they're like, okay, it's a podcast. And so now it's if you go for YouTube Music, it will be under the podcast label, or if you go to like YouTube and stuff and click on podcast, it will show up as a podcast. And I think that's actually pretty cool. I mean, it is a podcast, but I like that it's very much labeled as a podcast now on YouTube. I thought that was very, very interesting. So the next story we're going to be talking about is GTA 6. GTA 6 is now available to pre-order. You can pre-order this game, and I got thoughts on it. Now the other thing I want to talk about with this game is you can pre-order a physical copy. Yay, there's a physical copy. I mean, every game has a physical copy now. Except this game technically doesn't, and I don't really see the point of even selling pre-orders for a physical copy. There are even stores refusing to sell GTA 6's physical copy. Because it's not really a physical copy, it's just a code in a box. I don't really see the point of pre-ordering a physical copy of this game. Honestly, I don't really see the point of pre-ordering this game at all if it's just going to be digital only. I truly don't see the point of pre-ordering this game at all. I mean, I get wanting to have the game a little bit like you pre-order it to pre-install the game. Like, I understand that. But why pre-order it? Why pre-order now? Like, wait a couple months, wait a month before, or not a month. Wait a week, like a couple weeks before the game releases, and then pre-order it, and then have the game pre-installed, because the game, like, pre-order games do that. Like, they ask you, do you want to install the game, and you do it, and so it'd be there on day one, as soon as it unlocks. I understand that. I I am not a big GTA fan. I will say that. I do like these games, and of course, I prefer Red Dead. Honestly, I do prefer Red Dead. But I like these games, and I do think Rockstar is a great developer, and they've made some great games. And I have fun with these games. Of course, these are not the games I'm truly excited for. Wake me up when a Red Dead Redemption 3 gets announced, and I'll be super excited. So, I do not agree with anything this is doing. The physical thing, I do not agree with that. I think that's stupid, but Rockstar has came out and said that the physical disc will not be released in time. So they're releasing a physical copy. It just won't have a disc in it until like a couple months later. Which I think that's silly, but you tell me you don't have enough time to release a physical disc? That makes no sense. We've given you had enough time in the world. You delayed this motherfucker multiple times. What are you talking about? You didn't have enough time to make a disc. What? Okay. Okay. I truly think that's more of an excuse. I think they very much never intended to make a disc until people complained online. And then they're like, oh, okay, we'll release a disc. Because people want physical copies. I think very much they are. This is the start of companies trying to move away from physical copies completely. But, yeah, basically my point was I will play this game eventually. I truly am not going to play it on day one at all. I really don't care enough to play it on day one. And also the prices aren't really that great. $80 for the standard edition. Everyone's thinking, oh, it's going to be $100 game. It is a $100 game because the $100 version, the Ultimate Edition version, is just the full game. Yeah, it's the. You want to know how I know it's the full game? Because they've literally said, and this probably won't mention it here. Yeah, it doesn't look like it's mentioning here, but the Ultimate Edition will have a if you buy the standard edition, some shops and garages will be locked off until you upgrade to the Ultimate Edition. So you will not be able to play the game fully. Of course, would it really hurt? Probably not, but that's kind of scummy to me, really, to lock off some things behind a $100 paywall. Yeah, I don't agree with that at all. So, in turn, the game really is just $100. It really is just $100. But it's 80. And this is going to be the start of every studio in the world thinking their game is GTA 6 level pricing. After this, I truly believe like something like Call of Duty will probably be like $80 now. Ubisoft games will be $80. Every game in the world will be like, oh my gosh, our game is good enough for $80. Of course, it probably will bite them in the ass, or it probably won't. Because some people truly believe a Ubisoft game is $80. There are some people out there who do believe that. Just like they believe GTA 6 is a fucking $100 game. It's not. It's not. I don't. And you're probably well, you're not really a big fan of this series. If Resident Evil priced their game to $100, I wouldn't agree with that either. And I think Resident Evil is a $100 game. Yeah. I wouldn't want it to be $100 because fucking that's terrible. I don't think we should have them be $80 or $100. Like, damn. Consoles are already fucking thousands of dollars. let's make and their console prices are going way up now, which this has nothing to do with the RAM shortage. This is a software, not a hardware. Like this is up. This is pricing for up for no reason. Of course, people will say games take time in development, and so this is the real price of how developers see it, and that's not even true either. If developers price their game on how they feel they should be priced based on their hard work, $100 is not that much. Like, I think if you realistically were doing what like people do, like pricing based on the work, I think GTA 6 should be more like $1,000 billion or something like that. Like, yeah, like this is very much more less than what the hard work really is. And so I just don't agree with this pricing. I never agreed with $100, and the game is $100, and some people say no, it's not. It is, because it's if you don't buy the $100 pack, you get things blocked off. You get shops and like you get a big portion of the game blocked off. Well, maybe not the big portion because the store is a big portion, but you get like a good amount blocked off. And I think if I'm gonna pay $80 for a game, I would want the full game to be available to me. But no, you're gonna have to pay a little bit more. You're gonna pay $100. Like, I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that. I just don't. I just don't. So I don't know. I'll eventually play this. I don't think I'm gonna play day one, because I just don't care as much. Like, honestly. Steam Machine was finally the price was finally revealed. And it is a $149 for the 512 gigabyte model. With a controller, it is $1,128, and with a two terabyte model, it is $1,349. But a 2 terabyte model with a controller is $1,428. Apparently, Valve wanted this to be priced at around $700. And you know what? That seems more reasonable to me. Because technically, yes, this is still a PC. I think they very much have come out and said they did not want this to be the price. This was not the price they wanted. Apparently it's bigger than I thought it was. People like, look how small this looks, like in this little photo and video. I was watching Linus Tech Tips video on this, and the thing's fucking huge. It's basically the size. It's like you cut an Xbox Series X in half. That's how big this is. I thought this was going to be smaller than that, but looking at it, I was like, holy shit, this is huge. It sucks. It does suck that prices of consoles and stuff are going up. And technically, Valve never really classified this as a console, but it's very obvious trying to cash in on the. It's trying to be the bridge between consoles and PCs, and I still truly believe we're gonna go to a part in the future in the world where consoles are gonna be gone. And I think we're going to move on in the future where we get PC consoles. And Microsoft with Xbox very much has confirmed the next Xbox is a PC hybrid console. Like they've already talked about how it's a PC hybrid console, so very much Steam is, I was hoping to be the bridge to really be like, this is what the future is. And you know what? $700 would have been honestly good for what this is. It's still very much a PC, but it would still be cheaper compared to like PCs you can buy. And I mean pre-built PCs. But pre-built PCs cost around $1,500 now. Just buy that because the hardware and the specs is not that great. I mean, it's in competition with PS4, which is fine, but $1,000 and $500 just to get like a really good model of it. Just buy a pre-built PC. Like $700, I think would have been fine. I think for what this is, trying to be the bridge between consoles and stuff, that would have been reasonable. Honestly, that would have been reasonable. It's not now. It's just and I'm definitely going to not get this. And the Steam Deck. This is very old news as well. But they raised their prices. See, this probably would have made more sense for the Steam machine than the Steam Deck. But it was this they raised the price when they brought the stock back for the Steam Deck, and it's now $800 and $1,000. Well, yeah, $790 and $950. $790 for the 512 gigabyte, and $950 for the 1 terabyte model of the Steam Deck. And honestly, this price seems reasonable for the Steam machine. I would say. Now, I want to make it clear. A lot of people are pointing blame to Valve, just how people are putting blame to Microsoft and PlayStation for raising the prices of their consoles. And I want to make this very clear. They have no control of this. They have no control of the console prices going up. PlayStation for years relied on the sales of their of game software, exclusive game software, and subscription models to keep them afloat, because honestly, the prices they would release of their consoles would be cheaper than what they should actually price them, and they relied heavily on game software and the subscriptions to keep them afloat. Valve didn't have that, so it makes sense that they would sell that at like $700. But also RAM prices of RAM because of AI and shit is going up, and it's causing this. I've seen I watched a short of people like, oh, this is so stupid. You should buy a PlayStation instead because it's cheaper. And I'm like, what the fuck you mean it's cheaper? They're going up in prices too, and they're not. And this won't stop. The next story will say that the prices are going to keep on going up for every consoles. We are now in a stage where console gaming is now on par with the price of PC gaming. RAM was the cheapest thing you could buy, and now it's the fucking most expensive shit because of AI and shit like that. And people want us to be like happy about that? Like let's continue with AI bullshit. Like, I don't agree with that. Fuck that. Fuck that. This sucks. I like Valve, and I very much think Valve are a good customer friendly team, but because of the RAM prices and shit, it's fucking everything over, and it sucks. It sucks. It sucks. Because I was actually kind of looking forward to probably buying a Steam machine in the future. Now I'm just like, ah. Um, I'm wondering how much the Steam frame is gonna be. Maybe it'd be cheaper because it is using, uh, like Android technology, if I remember correctly. So maybe it's cheaper, but it'll probably be cheaper. It probably won't be as cheaper though. I'm not really sure. But I'm very much excited to see what the Steam frame will be like. But who knows? Who knows? I hope everything is. I don't know. It sucks. It does suck, and I will admit it really does suck. So let's move on to the next story, which is Microsoft announces significant price rises for Xbox Series X and S, and 2 terabyte model discontinued. Cheapest Xbox now, 500. Yeah. We've already had a price increase, and now everything is getting increased to $100 more, $150 more for whatever version. And yeah, and this is not. Many companies have very much already said, um, like many pricing analysis people have said this will just be the beginning. Prices are going to go up a lot more than what is already being going up. So we are now going to very much see more prices, and Nintendo, strange enough, is still the cheapest console to buy, but won't be for long because after the price increase that's happening for Nintendo Switch 2, it's going to go up as well because companies are saying they're very much going to have to go up in price. The digital edition for the PS5 currently costs $49. The digital edition costs $500, and the Pro cost almost $1,000, and apparently it's gonna go up in the future. We don't know when. This sucks. Again, my points are still clear. This sucks, and AI can go fuck itself. Truly can. Companies have already talked about how a lot of companies have already talked about how they're using AI in some form or another in their development. And Gen AI, to be clear, Gen AI is what I'm talking about. A lot of people are going to say like, "Oh, AI's been in games for years." Generative AI has not been in games for years, and it's a recent thing. And every company is going to use it in some form or another, starting in the future, and more console prices are going to go up because of it, and it is fucked. Yeah. Let's move on to the next story. This was this was updated June 10th. So what was this site? What's the site called? Famitsu did a Q&A. Actually, no, it was a Q&A for everyone, not just Famitsu, but everyone. It was like during Summer Games Fest. There was a Q&A for Capcom and the producer of Resident Evil and stuff. And the producer confirmed that the game for Resident Evil Veronica, the Code Veronica remake, is third person, even though the trailer is very much fairly first person. I always thought, is the game going to be first person or third person? It's going to be what they did with Resident Evil Requiem. What's going to be both? And I was hoping moving forward, they do what they did with Resident Evil Requiem, where you could switch between first person and third person. Yeah, the problem is it's not. It's going to be a 100% a third person game, which is fine. I'm fine with that 100%. I just wish that moving forward they do what they did with Resident Evil Requiem and just add the option for first and third person. Like, I think that would be really good, and I would like it. I would very much like it. Please, Capcom, please, can you do that? Can you do that for me, please? But I'm very excited. Why is it seeing this season as the TJ told a story from a different perspective than this year's Requiem? Between the two styles, players might have thought that Veronica would follow a familiar path with perhaps Claire and Grizz. I was not hoping that. I was just hoping it was a switchable option. Which I'm guessing what they're saying, but if you don't know, Claire, Grace in Resident Evil Requiem was clearly intended to be first person, and Leon's sections were clearly supposed to be in third person. They just give you the option to switch in between. But yeah, I very much would have just loved the option to switch to first person and third person. And I'm gonna be honest with you, I think first person very much fits more classic survival horror Resident Evil, which Code Veronica is, than third person. I think third person is best for the action Resident Evil. Because of the claustrophobic vibe. The games give like this very claustrophobic vibe, like with fixed camera and all that, and you only have a viewpoint of what's in front of you and not what's behind you because you can't see what's behind you and stuff. And so I feel like first person definitely 100% works more with survival horror, because the biggest argument with survival horror games being fixed camera is that you don't always get to see what's fully in the room, because you only get to see one corner of the room. And first person very much could do that because you're in a first person perspective and you only see what's in front of you and not what's behind you. So I don't know. I think first person, to me personally, works better with survival horror games, and Code Veronica is very much a survival horror game. I'm excited for this. If it was my way, I would have an option for first person, third person, and fixed camera. But I'm very much excited for this game, and this is obviously going to be made by the remake team who did Resident Evil 2 remake and Resident Evil 4 remake. So I'm excited to see what they do with Code Veronica, and apparently they revealed why they're just calling it Veronica, and they said that they're not trying to make this the fifth game in the series, even though the trailer started off with REV, like Resident Evil 5. They've clearly said that this is not going to be the fifth game in the series, and they just want to kind of just make the name fit more of the recent games, like Resident Evil Village, Resident Evil Requiem, and I think if they ever do remake Resident Evil 5, they might do that too. It might not be called Resident Evil 5, but who knows? I think they probably just want to remove the number completely, which I understand. So I'm looking forward to Resident Evil Veronica. I think it's going to be absolutely incredible. This game looks fun. Star Wars Zero Company. I'm gonna play that. That looks fun. So, yeah, I'm excited. But in Famitsu article, they asked the producer questions as well about Resident Evil Veronica. Now, this was a Japanese article, so, but there have been people who have completely translated it who speak Japanese, and they've confirmed that it does say that. And this is from Jar Muncher, who is a Dino Crisis fan. They post a lot about Dino Crisis and stuff. They talk about Dino Crisis and all that. And Capcom have done many surveys where that have talked about, like, what would you like to see in the future of Capcom? Like, what remakes would you like to see remade and stuff? And they very much have, like, had Dino Crisis in that, and fans have very much told them, we want Dino Crisis, we want Dino Crisis. So this is what this is from Famitsu, which again is a Japanese article, but there are people in the comments who have said, I know Japanese, and I 100% checked it, and it says for sure, it says something that is very much like this. So when asked about Dino Crisis, we get a playful no comment, which isn't odd, but it is different from the usual, I would love to see that too kind of type of response, which they would in the past. They would say, like, yeah, I would love to see a Dino Crisis game as well. They would never ever say no comment or I know the answer, which again says no comment, even though I know the answer. And then someone said, yeah, I would interpret this as we're doing something, but we can't talk details quite yet. Like, you read this comment and goes, I have no comment, even though I know the answer left. So very much they're kind of, they're not saying it's Dino Crisis, which again, lower your expectations, please, because people have been wanting Dino Crisis remake for so long, or just a new Dino Crisis game, and Capcom has never fully gave us a Dino Crisis game, which very much sucks. But I very much would love a Dino Crisis game, please, Capcom, please. And but this, they never ever said I have no comment, even though I know the answer. They've always said something like, I would love to see that too, you know, that would be cool, but we're not working on anything. They would always confirm no. They would always basically say no. This time they're saying, can't say anything, but I know the answer. Like, they're being playful. They're being very playful. So again, it could be Dino Crisis is coming back. Could be not. Who really knows? Of course, I do comment on this post saying my delusional ass right now, and it's a GIF saying it's happening, isn't it? But yeah, like, could we see Dino Crisis return? Possibly. Is it gonna happen? Who knows? We have to wait and see. I've been hearing a lot of rumors that Capcom is remaking Resident Evil. Veronica has been confirmed, but they're remaking Resident Evil 0, Resident Evil 1. They're remaking Devil May Cry 1. So a Dino Crisis could make sense because it's very much they are making new games, and a lot of series people thought they would never return to, like Mega Man. People thought, oh, there's never going to be a new Mega Man game, and Capcom has announced a new Mega Man game. Onimusha is getting a new game this year. So, very much, if there is a Devil May Cry 1 remake, that'd be awesome. And if there is a Dino Crisis 1 remake, or just a new Dino Crisis game, that would be awesome as well. Because I very much would like that. I do love Dino Crisis. It's just Resident Evil with dinosaurs, and I think that would print money. Come on, Capcom. Like, I very much want a new Dino Crisis game. I very much love horror games, and I just want to do Dino Crisis game, and they could do a Dino Crisis 1 remake, a Dino Crisis 2 remake, and then after that, they could just, you know, kind of reboot the series after that and make a Dino Crisis 3, because we never actually got a Dino Crisis 3. Oh, yeah, you know, we never got a Dino... Okay, we actually did get a Dino Crisis 3. That was a joke I was making just to to kind of help with any confusion, there was a Dino Crisis 3 that released on the Xbox, the original Xbox, and it was terrible. It was awful. It was dinosaurs in space, which sounds awesome, but it was not great. The first time they ever made dinosaurs in space, and it didn't do well. And then a completely different indie studio who made Cold Violet tried to do dinosaurs in space again, and that also sucked. Apparently, dinosaurs in space is not a good combination. But yeah, Dino Crisis 3 was a real game, and it was terrible. And I think, and it didn't really connect. It didn't truly connect anything with Dino Crisis 1 and 2. People, let's say, like, it very much felt like it was a random game. It was a random thing. Like, it didn't really make any real connection. So I can see them like bringing Dino Crisis 1 and 2 and then making a new game that is a direct sequel to Dino Crisis 2, where it has Regina and all the other characters from Dino Crisis and stuff. So I very much think they could just reboot the series where it follows the original characters and stuff, and just kind of, ignore what they did with Dino Crisis 3. And I would be fine with that. I just want a new Dino Crisis game. Just give me a new Dino Crisis game. Come on, Capcom. You can do it. You can do it. I believe in you. But yeah, I think that will do it for today's episode. It seemed like it was a good episode. If you do have a Twitch, which is twitch.tv/Jarvey Rocks. That is twitch.tv/Jarvey Rocks. I stream a whole bunch of games, and in the future I will continue to stream this podcast as well. It'll be like I wouldn't say it would be like a whenever I feel like, streaming. Most of it will probably be when I stream video games and stuff, like games I really want to play. So look out for that. So do give me a follow over there. Again, I play whatever games I feel like playing, but most of them would be horror games because I really love the horror genre. But it's whatever game I feel like playing that day. I would say I'm a variety streamer, but I just play whatever I feel like playing. And if you like this video, give it a like and tell me what you guys think about all the stories that I talked about today. What do you think about Kojima's OD? Are you excited for it? What do you think about the prices of GTA 6? Are you going to get the game? Are you going to pre-order it? Tell me what you think about, like, what was the other stuff I talked about? The Steam Machine's price, the price, and the console's prices going up in the future. And Resident Evil Resident Evil Veronica being third person. Are you excited about that? And do you think Dino Crisis could finally return? Who knows? Just tell me in the comments down below, and I will see you guys in the next video. Do subscribe to the channel. I did forget to say that. Do subscribe. It really helps me out. And you will get podcasts like this, podcast episodes. There's a playlist link in the description for the other episodes. It's officially now classified as a podcast on YouTube, so yay. And subscribe. And I also do like full game playthroughs. So right now I'm uploading my Chronos playthroughs. So I got Chronos episode 1, and then I'm going to be posting episode 2 soon, and then all that. So do subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.